my kinfolk that I'm a legend. Only blowing big smoke with all of my brethren. Oh baby, she an info, she came in my section. The way she move that body, oh my God, it's a blessing. Come on, let's go, we on the road. It ain't no need to fight.
What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to the Loft 313. I'm your host, Felix, a.k.a. Felix the Don, a.k.a. Top 2 and Not 2. You know, we've been going for a little bit. We appreciate everybody that's been rocking with us. We're going to keep these episodes coming as we, keep finding more interesting guests and more people just doing dope shit around the city. We want to keep highlighting that, keep showcasing that. And, without further ado, today's episode, we got a dope man in the music game. Man, Mr. Crackalack, how you doing today, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. So this is cool. We've been we linked up on IG like a month ago. Tried to make this happen. I'm glad that we were able to do it. We came out to Crack House Studios out in Lansing, so we'll talk a little bit more about the background of this space and everything. But y'all, this space is dope. If you haven't heard of the studio, it's in Lansing, Michigan, in the state capital. Multifaceted studio. You can shoot videos here. They got multiple sets. As you can see, the podcast set up. They got the photography set up, the recording studio, everything. So it's dope what y'all are doing over here.
Thank you. You said that perfectly.
Hell yeah. So look, we want to talk about you. My people probably don't know who you are, so they want to get to know you a little bit better. And the show is really just about the guests and showcasing you and just giving you your flowers and shit like that. So tell us about the name Crackalack. Like, where does that come from? Where does that stem from? How long people been calling you that? What's up?
Yeah, the name, basically when I was 15, my best friend at the time was black, and he decided to start making beats and rapping. And so prior to this, kind of long story short, when we were in elementary school, boy bands were a thing. So like before the podcast, you were playing me your music, and you're very versatile. You have a lot of different genres. And I remember pop was a thing, the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC and stuff. So when we were in elementary school, we wanted to start a boy band.
Okay.
When we were in middle school, we wanted to start like a rock band. So he like got a guitar, got drums, and I started taking drum lessons and practicing playing the drums. And then 50 Cent came out.
Yeah,
Get Rich or Die Trying.
that changed everybody's life right there.
Changed my fucking life.
I'm telling you.
So when that came out, I just remember we're like sophomore year of high school. I stayed the night at his house. I woke up in the morning, and he had like a $10 computer mic plugged in and was using sound recorder, to where he had a CD player next to his computer, and he was playing instrumentals, like Lil Wayne instrumental, and he would turn the volume up on the speakers, and that way the $10 computer mic would hear the beat and then him rap.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what are you doing? And he said, I'm rapping. And I was thinking like, okay. And so remember, we had the boy band thing, the actual like rock band thing, and then now I was rapping. He was saying, you should rap too. And I was like, I'm not Eminem. What am I gonna do? He said, well, why don't you do? He had a cool name too. His name was Tyler Reed, and everyone called him Treed.
Okay.
Treed. And I just remember it was so cool. And anytime we go to like other parties or other high schools, just everyone called him Treed. I thought that was so cool. My name is Nick Bazzo, and me being Italian, if I could go back in time, I probably would have played off the Italian more and came up with a cooler Italiano name or something. But I was just like, I'm white, I'm not Eminem, and he had the idea of, why don't you do what Eminem did in 8 Mile and kind of make fun of yourself. And so I was like, what am I gonna be, Cracker the white rapper? and that was the thing for the moment. It was like, shit, do that. And so I actually went by Cracker. It was just like Cracker.
Yeah, Cracker.
What up, Cracker?
Yeah.
So in our high school newspaper, they did an article on us and shit, and it was like, mean mug. And it said Nicholas Cracker Bazzo. And then I started making beats at the same time, and I wanted a producer tag. And Nitty was popular at the time, like Young Jock, It's Going Down. It's a Nitty beat.
Yeah.
And some other producers, they had something on the beat, something on the track. And I was writing a rap one day, and I said, Crackalack on the track. And then I thought it was really cool. And then I said it on the microphone, and then that's actually been my producer tag for the last over 20 years now.
Nice.
Every single beat, it goes back to that same tag of me in high school saying Crackalack on the track.
Word, I got you.
So then I
Okay.
added the lack to it. So
Yeah.
it wasn't just cracker, it was Crackalack.
Hell yeah, no, I fuck with that. That's
And
hard.
then where I'm at now, I just say crack. So like P. Diddy has had a horrible, you know, fall off in recent years, you know, but how he went by Puff Daddy, then he went by P. Diddy, and then now he goes by Diddy.
Yeah.
I think the evolution of Crackalack was, you know, cracker, then
Yeah.
Crackalack, and then even when it was Crackalack, it's still Crackalack, but like everyone just calls me Crack. You know?
Yeah, I
What up,
feel
Crack? Hey, Crack, how's it going?
I feel like my name has had the evolution as well. Like when I first started rapping, a lot of people don't know this. This is still my Twitter name too. When I first started rapping, my name was Felix the Great, and the was like THA because you couldn't get Felix the Great anywhere. I don't know why that name was taken like everywhere. So I did THA, but then I'm like, oh, you spell it wrong. People are not gonna spell it right and shit. So I dropped the Great and I just went by Felix, and then I added the Don like later on when I kind of started really tapping into like the reggaeton and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I'm a Rasta, so that was always and yeah, man. Actually, I gotta address this. I cut my hair, so you know we're gonna talk about that for the pod too.
How recently did you cut your hair?
Like 4 days ago, 5 days
Damn.
ago. I had long locks like 5 days ago. So this is the first time the audience is seeing me without long hair. But yeah, so I'm a Rasta at heart, man, and so the Don was an important piece to the name. But even now, everybody calls me Felix, like just for short, you know. So.
Is your actual name Felix?
My last name is Felix. So
okay.
my name's Jordan Felix. Yeah. So everybody calls me Felix. I think the Felix really started from like sports in high school.
Yeah, last name.
They call you the last name.
Yeah.
And then when I got to college, it was just kind of about, you know, finding yourself, reinventing yourself. I went to college when I was 17, so I was young, you know.
Were you just that smart, or how the hell did you get?
I got out. So I you know, you got double promoted when you're younger, and I have a late birthday. So my birthday's like right at the end of November, where it's like you could get held to that next grade, but I was smart enough in like elementary where they just pushed me through.
Yeah.
So I was always the youngest person in my class. Yeah. Like when my first semester of college, I think like you come home at the end, like right before Thanksgiving. So I turned 18 that like the week before Thanksgiving. I was already finished with my first semester, and I was in a fraternity at the time, and I wasn't even 18 yet. I couldn't even buy fucking Rellos at the time.
How would you describe being in a fraternity is to somebody that didn't go to college?
Man, it's a lot different than, it's a lot different than what people think it is, but there's also a lot of that cliche and stereotype shit in there as well. But it also just depends on your organization, I feel like. Like, I mean, I feel like my brothers were very stereotypical in a lot of ways, but at the same time, like, super good people, you know, people that, you know, a lot of them I feel like I could trust my life to. You know, I've made a lot of good connections within that organization and, you know, a lot of lifelong friendships. But
I was about to say, do you still talk to a lot of them?
Oh yeah, like my whole pledge class, we all still talk pretty much. A lot of the people who were like president, vice president, shit like that at the time when I was pledging, we're still close. You know, like some of my mentors, like Wandis, you know, that was my big brother, which is like your mentor when you're pledging and shit. Me and Wandis are still pretty close. So that it's been dope.
What did you have to do to pledge?
So I'm in Pi Lambda Phi, which is I guess in layman's term, it's a secret society. It's one of the older fraternities. It was founded in 1895, mainly because there was these Jewish guys who couldn't join a fraternity because they were Jewish. So they're like, we're gonna make a fraternity where it doesn't matter if you're Jewish, black, white, gay, straight, like as long as you share my values in life, like I can call you a brother. So that's kind of where it started, like a long time ago. And we have 30 chapters, and don't kill me if you're a Pi Lambda, I'm getting this wrong, it's been a minute. We got 30 chapters in the United States and 3 in Canada. So I say all that to say, if you want to know what Pi Lambs do to become a brother, find one of those 33 chapters, go pledge, and you can figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, secret society type stuff.
But no, what I can tell you is it was one of the most mentally toughening situations I've ever been in. Like, it wasn't like what you think it's gonna be like. You really don't know what it's gonna be, and you go into it kind of really trusting these people that you've never met before. You know what I'm saying? But that builds that camaraderie, and it also builds that trust with you and your pledge brothers, the people who went through what you went through. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely say, at least like I said, what I can tell you is that it was a mentally toughening like situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I did not go to college.
No,
No.
no. Yeah, I did it for a couple years and then I left.
Okay.
Yeah, I went for a couple years and then I left and started pursuing music and really was selling weed until weed became super legal and then now I sell weed legally. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much
The evolution.
yeah. So I dropped out of school, started selling weed, started rapping, and then like I said, as it became legal, I got into the legal market, and then I got with Live Cannabis, and once I got with Live, I just worked my way up through the company, and then that's like my day to day is like running the store and shit like that, training, being the big brother, I guess. In a
Okay.
sense. Yeah.
Okay.
So my next question for you. So tell us a little bit about where you're from. Are you from Lansing?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
So born and raised here in Lansing. I went to high school in Holt, which is like just south of Lansing.
Okay.
Yep.
What was the high school called?
Holt High School.
Holt High School. Did you play like sports and shit there?
I played sports up until my junior year because I didn't play a whole lot like my sophomore year.
Yeah.
And, kind of like up until you get to varsity, you're playing with people in the same grade. And I'm like, if I'm not getting any like clock and I'm playing against people my same grade, and then once you go to varsity, you're playing with the grade ahead of you too.
Yeah,
And,
that self-realization is not there for everybody.
Yeah. I've always had pretty damn good self-awareness to like think pretty far into the future. And so it was like, okay, we're getting to that age now where they're going around the classroom asking like, what are you going to do when you grow up? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? It was like everyone had a plan. And so I'm thinking like, shit, my plan was like go to the NBA or like just the childhood thing that you say since you're in elementary school. And it's like, okay, that's not going to happen. What am I going to do? And it was that time that I started like rapping and making beats. And it was, I think this shit would be cool.
Okay.
So then, I like looked into going to college for it. I'm sure you've heard of Full Sail University.
I've heard of Full Sail, yeah.
Was going to go there. My parents were like, there's not a shot in hell we can afford that. At the time, I'm 36, almost 20 years ago is when I graduated. And it was over 50 grand to go back then. And I remember it seemed like bulletproof because they said, you go there for 2 years, you get an associate's degree, and then they will place you with a job opportunity. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to school for 2 years, get even better at like making beats and rapping and shit, and then they're gonna place me at some company where I actually have a job doing this, and I'm so dope that I'll like prove myself there. And then I work my way up into the industry. Like that was my plan.
That was the plan, yeah.
Then 17, so it's my senior year. I graduated at 17, and I was at the local Guitar Center, just like buying some studio monitors. And then the dude starts a conversation with me and asks like, oh, what type of music do you do? I said, oh, I rap and I make rap beats. And he's like, oh, I went to Full Sail. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to Full Sail and then get a job and then do that for it was kind of like, you work here in Lansing. That was down in Orlando, Florida. And then he was like, oh, yeah, Mikey, he went to Full Sail too. And I was like, wait, two of you motherfuckers are working in here now. A third dude comes out the back. Oh, yeah. So it's like then everyone at the local Guitar Center graduated from Full Sail. It was like, oh, my plan is not good. Fuck that plan.
Yeah.
And then I realized like it's just about being dope. Like if you're good, no one gives a fuck. Wait, are you certified? Did you have a degree for this? It's no.
Exactly. And I think Full Sail is good in the sense of like if you really want to learn and get challenged and you learn better in that type of situation, I think that's where it comes into play. But even after, like, you still got to apply yourself. Like, I think that's like an awakening for all artists. Like, when you get into it, you have the plan of how it's going to work and what you're going to do. And shit just doesn't always work out that way. And that's the industry. I was actually watching, shout out Big Chris. He did an interview. It's been one of my fraternity brothers. We had a label together for a couple years. He was my manager at one point. And he was talking about, like, how we approached the music industry when we first got in it. And we just thought, like, before you even build a name for yourself, just throw all this money at these artists and collab with these big names and do this. And you think it's going to matter. It really doesn't if you don't have a fan base. You know what I'm saying? So everybody kind of gets that curveball when they first get into it, I feel like.
Yeah, I learned that there was an artist named Basic that I produced a lot of music for maybe like 6 years ago up until like 3 or 4 years ago, it seems like. And he had paid for a feature, and this is proof. So like this is the story that I always tell people when it's like the dude that gets out of prison, he has a notebook full of raps, and the first thing he wants to do is pay like a Detroit rapper for a feature and do a video. It's like, bro, you have no catalog. So step one is you need to release at least 10, 20, 30 songs of your own. So there is a catalog there. And that's like, even if nothing happens with these songs, we just have to have the library there for then when you invite people and you get that attention from paying for the feature, that's how you benefit from it, by having the catalog there.
Exactly.
So like this artist, Basic, he had like maybe 3 or 4 songs out, and it was like where you use a free software and have random Google pictures of like woman crying, and then it rotates to a different picture and then a different picture. Like he had the slideshow image art shit.
Yeah.
But he had like 3 songs out. He pays for a feature. The song was really dope, and then the song, like, it worked. Like, as of today, it has over 1 million views. It was one of the first songs that I produced and music videos that I shot that got 1 million views. And as that starts taking off and it's at like 10,000 views, and then it's at 20,000, and all the other ones were at like 100s, like 400 views, 200 views, whatever, not a whole lot. Well, as the song he paid for a feature starts taking off, these other 3 start going like this too. And I'm like, oh shit, yo, you got to drop more music, like, quick, because it's happening right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, cool. So a month later, another song came out with a video, and I really, like, that's even too slow. So it took about maybe like 4 to 6 months to get to 1 million views or so. But during that, the little slideshow videos, those got hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah.
So it taught me that, because then what we did for the next 2.5 years, we did a song and a video every single month for like 2.5 years. But I realized he should have had that out first. Like, if he did have that out first, and then paid for the feature, he would have catapulted in. Because all the comments were like, where's your other music? Do you have more music? You're my new favorite rapper.
Yeah.
And he had only a few songs out. So that's the story I tell to anyone that's thinking about paying for a feature. The first question is like, how big's your library right now? Oh, you only got this much out? Don't even think about that shit right now.
Yeah, you got to work on yourself, work on your craft, get better. Like, I think about it too. Like, I benefited from it in the moment, and it was cool, and life works out how it's supposed to work out. But I feel like some of those features that we did at the time, if we would have put more effort into like building my own brand and building our brand a little more, then doing something like that later, it would have worked out a lot better in our favor, I think. Again, big moments, like some of my biggest moments in my time, like as an artist, but I definitely don't think I'm still reaping. I won't say I'm not. Like, some people are still listening to those songs, but at the end of the day, it didn't do what I needed to, because we weren't in the position we needed to be in when it happened. Like just like you said. So
I tell people the same thing with content. Like, a lot of people will ask for my feedback on their content strategy or like their social media, but they'll have like 6 posts on their page. And so I'll tell them the story. Like, imagine if Oprah Winfrey, Justin Bieber, The Rock, Cristiano Ronaldo, Logan Paul, Mr. Beast. Imagine if the biggest influencers in the world were about to shout you out right now. Do you feel like you're ready, or would you be like, oh, fuck, give me like 6 months. Let me get more content out there.
yeah, exactly.
Because that's the like motivation I give to people when they feel discouraged with, okay, I'm going to sit down for an hour or so and I'm going to make a piece of content. I'm going to put it out there on the internet. It has 100 views. Damn, I feel discouraged. It's like, no, you're building your library of content right now that needs to be there when the opportunity comes that you do get discovered, or get an opportunity to have people like rush to your page and see who the fuck you are.
Exactly. Like, people don't realize you only got to be right once.
Yeah.
You only got to get it right one time. Like, it's all about just the experience and the journey, putting, like you said, putting it out there and building it for when those opportunities come. Now you set up for when the shit starts hitting the fan, you know? So, like I said, you only got to be right one time. So just keep putting the content out, keep putting the music out. Don't fucking hide that shit in the vault. Like, music is to be shared, art is to be shared. So I love seeing, and more people are doing that now, I feel like, too.
Yeah.
It's a lot more independence out here where people are just putting content out in the world, which I fuck with heavy.
Yeah, I'd say every opportunity that's happened in my life are like, I planted this seed 8 years ago. I planted this seed 3 years ago. I planted this seed 5 years ago. So I was saying, like, do you feel like you are ready? I've been prepping for this for over a decade. So I know that, like, even from this podcast, there's going to be somebody that had no idea who I was, and they're going to click on my page. And it's like, I've been ready for you to click on my page.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Like, the library's there.
Yeah, for sure. I want to talk a little bit more about kind of your upbringing and the music side. So who were some like early inspirations? I know you said 50 Cent. 50 Cent was it's probably still my favorite rapper. Like
Bro, I listen to them
yeah.
today at the gym.
That's what, like,
Yeah.
bro, Get Rich or Die Trying in '03 was crazy. I shouldn't even been listening to that shit when I was a fucking 7-year-old.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to talk a little bit more about your upbringing with music. Let's talk like early influences. I know you said 50 Cent was a big influence for you. Like I said, that was my favorite artist, probably still my favorite artist to this day. What he did with that Get Rich or Die Trying run was crazy. So that motivated me early on, like really had me into rap music. What were some early motivators for you that got you into, I guess, music period? Because you said you wanted to be in a boy band, you wanted to be a rock band, you went to rap. Because I feel like I'm that same way too, where my influences are like all over the place. So what's some early influences for you in music?
You remember the movie Hustle and Flow?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, man. Get that shit out, man.
Dog.
Yeah. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. That changed my life, too.
Really?
It was my senior year. Me and my friends, we seen that in the movie theater, and it was just like, I remember there being like the cup holders. They had cup holders on the wall, like for panels. And one of my friends, he worked at McDonald's, and so he would be like, yo, I can only give you like 10 per shift. So for a week, I would go through the drive-thru, and he'd give me like 10 cup holders. And so in my bedroom, I had cup holders all over the wall.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, that was inspired by Hustle and Flow. But I would say really those two, and then as a producer, like Scott Storch, Timbaland, Pharrell.
Okay, I love it.
And then, yeah.
Nice. So yeah, I would say that's just crazy. Hustle and Flow. I feel like I haven't seen that movie in a long ass time. I don't even remember. You remember bits and pieces, but it's been a minute since I've seen that movie, low key. But yeah, that's crazy. That's some nice influences, though. Have you ever seen what's it called? It's a show on Netflix called Hip Hop History, I think is it called. It's got one episode called Super Producers. They talk about like all the best producers in the game, take it back to like the 70s all the way to now. And great episode. As a producer, you probably fuck with it.
Okay, yeah.
Definitely should check it out. Okay, so we talked a little bit about this earlier. So I kind of want to touch base on like the studio, telling us about the studio, how it started, how things are going, and just where the idea of Crack House Studio came, and then how you became a part of it.
Yeah, so just like everyone else with studios, it started with a home studio. So I'd have people come to my house, and I would do studio sessions. So I had a home studio for personal use, but then also I had, one customer, which then turned to 5, and then those 5 turned to like 20, and then those 20 turned to 100, and then I had a lot of people in and out the house, and this is living with my parents and shit too, so they're seeing, people coming in and out of the house. And then I had a home studio from 15 to probably 23 or so, and then that's when I had my daughter. And there was a guy named Jesse Jones here in Lansing, and he had a studio, and there was a few other engineers. So kind of anyone that recorded music in the Lansing area, they went to either myself or there was a couple other guys, and these couple other guys were like shared a studio.
Yeah.
And so Jesse had this vision of putting everyone under one roof. So that way, it'd be like if you're assembling the best barbershop in town, and you get the barber from the west side, the barber from the south side, the east side, and you put them all in one shop, then like, oh, this is the best shop in town.
Yeah.
So that's what he wanted to do. And I remember I had so much clientele that I didn't want to rotate and share the studio with them, because I was like, I already have like full time.
Yeah.
40 to 60 hours a week of studio time. I don't want to ever be like, I needed 10 hours today. And I'm sharing it with, it was actually like 3 other people that were sharing the studio. So they had a storage closet across the hall. And I was like, well, how about if I just use that and I'll turn that into a studio? So I just had a little room, and a little storage room. And so I did that for maybe 3 to 6 months, and I got the green light to like knock down one of the walls. So I had a little bit bigger space. And then after about a year or 2 years, I knocked down a different wall, so I had even more space. And then around like 2017, we knocked down a whole nother wall. So then I had like a full big studio over there. And as far as the name, you know, me being Crack, trap beats, rap music and shit, you know, it goes with like we're in the studio cooking up crack.
Yeah, yeah.
One day somebody was doing an intro and they're, you know, talking shit on the intro, and he said, and at this time it was just I was Crackalack and this was my studio. So if you were here, you'd be like, oh, I'm over at Crack Studio, but I
Yeah.
didn't have a name for it. Well, I don't remember the artist's name, but on the intro he said, live from the motherfucking Crack House. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, there we go.
Yeah.
The Crack House. That's a cool name for this, the Crack House. So then I started just saying that it was the Crack House. And then I actually, like, you know, opened it up as a business and got a logo made and everything, and then branded the hell out of it. Like Crack House everywhere.
Yeah.
Got a custom desk, rug. It's all over the walls, all over the panels. And then where we are now with me, I've always been a one-stop shop for artists. So I could sit down with you and I could make a beat for you, and then I could record, mix, and master your song, and then I could shoot your music video. And then if you had enough songs to do an album, I owned a CD duplication company. I still do. We still do about 6 figures a year doing CD duplication.
Okay.
So my wife runs that. She's ran that since 2021. But yeah, I offered everything, so one-stop shop, but all I actually had was a recording studio. And so I always had a vision of, man, I've always done a lot of content documenting my journey, documenting my process. So anytime I shoot a video with somebody, I always think to myself, I always want to deliver the best product. So if somebody's deciding should they go with Crack or should they go with the other guy, it's like, okay, well, one, I want to have a better product than them. Two, I want to have a bigger brand than them. So I think that me being a music artist, it taught me to move like a music artist. So like the biggest music artists aren't the most talented, they have the biggest brands. So
Yeah.
like when you pay a artist for a feature, you're not looking for just anybody that can rap to get on the song. It's like, no, I want you to get on the song specifically, and I'm willing to pay you thousands of dollars because your brand is so big, it's gonna draw more attention to this song. So I wanna do the same thing with anything that I touch. If you're thinking about getting a beat from this guy or me, you get the beat from me, you're getting my brand with that. It's more valuable. The same thing with the videos. So yeah, I've always documented my journey, done a lot of YouTube videos. I've grown my brand from putting out a lot of content and teaching like the younger version of me how to do the shit that I do now. So I've done tutorials and teaching videos and stuff.
Yeah.
So with all of that, I've always wanted to have a studio with sets and different shit to where now when an artist comes through, it's not just the recording studio. It's like, yeah, we could go in the recording studio first, make the song, then let's go out into the photography area, do a photo shoot for cover art, whatnot. And shit, we could sit down, do a podcast, and then there's different sets. We could shoot a music video.
Yeah.
Like we could do
yeah.
everything in one place.
Yeah, the studio is fire too. Like I seen the videos and shit online. When I walked in, I was definitely very, very impressed with how you got everything. Like what's crazy is I've been in 5 different places that have everything that's in the studio. You know what I'm saying? And everything's in house, and they're all different businesses. Like they have a set studio in Ferndale and Royal Oak. That's exactly like what you have set up, like with the different set rooms. You know, D has the photography studio, and you know, we got the podcast studio. Then you also have the recorded studio in the back. It's like multifaceted. Is definitely a dope space. And for artists, that's important too, because now you don't got to deal with a million niggas, pay a million niggas to do your shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope that you're offering that, and I see why it's successful. So what was the turning point? Like when did shit start clicking for you?
Well, I remember one time specifically, it was one of my like 3rd or 4th times going to Atlanta, and we were at this place, and it just looked like a rundown industrial warehouse, but it had a studio in it, and I was there producing for an artist.
It's crazy. I recorded there. I know exactly
Okay.
what you're talking about.
But I seen these artists come in, and they were only there for a couple hours, but they like went in the recording studio and made a song, but then they had a videographer with them, and he was taking pictures the whole time, recording videos. And then right when they like got done making the song, they went right out in the alley and they were shooting the video. And I was like, that's how you do it. It's like chop, 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 you know, get the product fast. And I think, you know, if I was a music artist today, that's exactly what I would do. I'd be like, all right, if this is the outfit, okay, cool. I'm gonna wear this outfit, go to the studio, but I'm doing everything today. Like
Yeah.
today I'm gonna make the song and then I'm gonna take pictures for it and then shoot content for it, shoot the video for it. Like I'm doing everything today. And yeah,
And then
streamlining.
you got in your back pocket. It streamlines the whole process. That's
Yeah.
crazy about that studio. I don't remember what that studio's called. So what's crazy about that is I have a song called "Man Down." Shout out Oba Roland.
Oh,
And
I met him.
you know, Oba's my dog. So we did this song a while ago, bro. So it's one of those songs, and I'm sure you have this as an artist too. Is we recorded it at that studio in Atlanta. So we went down to Atlanta for you ever hear DJ Small's Eyes?
Yeah, yeah.
So we did an interview with DJ Small's Eyes. He interviewed me. Me and Big Chris drove down there, and Chris has family in Atlanta as well. So we stayed with the fam, and then we ended up going to that studio, and we met. Man, I can't think of this nigga's name, bro. It's a producer that we met out there, but he was fire as hell, bro. Like he ended up making a beat for us on spot. We ended up recording "Man Down," the first version of it. Shit was hard as hell. Fast forward like 2 years later, I don't know why, but we couldn't get the stems for the song, and it wasn't fully mixed, and we wanted to use it and get somebody else on the song, but we still had the beat. So we tried to re-record it and recapture that essence that we did in it. Couldn't, bro. Even the song that's out right now is the best version that we could come up with, and I never was happy with it after
Damn.
we didn't get the version that we did in Atlanta.
That's
But
one of
that
the
studio was crazy though. That was like big ass warehouse. You walk up in this bitch and they just got random studios in these rooms. Like that shit was kind of crazy.
that's one of the next things that I'm gonna do because now I'd say I'm more of an educator. So I just launched a mentorship program. So it's a 12-week coaching program, and it helps people grow their personal brand and their business with content. So like when I think back to which thing, if I were to give credit to any one thing that helped me get to where I am and where I'm going, it'd be content.
Yeah.
So that's what most people come to me for. Like even if it's a music video, it's like the music video is a form of content that the artist is looking to use. Like why? To get more exposure and grow their brand.
Exactly.
You know. So
Okay.
yeah, how you said you weren't able to capture the moment, like recapture the vibe of when you guys originally recorded it.
Yeah.
I believe that every music artist should have access to a home studio. The reason being because, and this is coming from somebody that owns a studio that offers studio time, and I'm saying I still believe everyone should have a home studio because you never like the vibe. You may have some people in town for the day and it's 1, 2 in the morning and people get to drinking or smoking and you guys got a vibe going and a beat comes on and you should always have the ability to capture it right there in the moment.
Yeah.
Because as long as you got it captured, sweet, okay, now we got it. So we can always send it off to get mixed and mastered or whatever in the future. So that's one of the next courses that I'm gonna make is teaching music artists how to record themselves from home.
Hell yeah. Having that access to record yourself and having a hard drive. Artists, get you a motherfucking hard drive, man. I remember Get Fresh. So Get Fresh has been operating for a while too. Shout out Get Fresh Studio. That's where I record all my music. They had a mishap where a lot of their sessions were lost.
Yeah.
You know, and they had to re-record a lot of people's music and shit like that. And I've been recording at Get Fresh since 2017. So anything that I recorded pre-2022 is gone. Only thing I got is the fucking master MP3. If you wanted to change the song, you got to re-record that motherfucker. It's over. So but that's partially on me because I go to the same studio. You always trust technology, but you got to think they're using 10 different hard drives. Got thousands of sessions on all those hard drives. Like as an artist, bring your own hard drive. Take your sessions home with you so that you have them somewhere. So if something like that happens, you're not shit out of luck. I just signed a sync deal in December, and they were like, okay, so now we need the lyrics to all the songs. We need clean versions. We need the beat. We need the stems. And some of these songs they wanted were 8 years old.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh well, you can't get that song because they need all that shit to even pitch it for sync.
What you just said would be a great ad for like a hard drive company.
Yeah, I swear to God, I learned the hard way many times. So
Yeah.
I definitely, artists, get you a fucking hard drive for real. You can get one off Amazon nowadays.
$100.
Key, yeah, that's
A
what I'm like.
terabyte.
Yeah, you can definitely, because it's needed. Because like I said, even with my sync deal right now, I can't pitch some of my songs because I don't have everything that they need. So that shit is it's tragic.
Free game.
Free game.
Free game.
So all right. So who have been your top 5 people you've worked with, whether that be shooting videos, doing content, making beats, rapping, whatever? Who's your top 5 that you've had the pleasure of working with?
I would say, okay. One that I'm gonna name is I don't know what he goes by now, but he went by Jay Easy back in the day, and he was from Lansing. Him because he was the first artist that I ever worked with, so he was like my first customer. And so
Shout out Jay Easy wherever you
Jay
at.
Easy. He's down in Atlanta now.
Oh, nice.
And then I would say Basic, the artist I was talking about that got the feature and stuff. And I mean, we locked in. We made a lot of music. So he was a great way for me to advertise my services because I was making most of his beats, recording, mixing, mastering all of his music, doing all of his videos. So I had a consistent artist that was always dropping that I could show, like, you know, oh, you do videos, what does your shit look like? Look at his shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You mix, what does your shit sound like? Listen to his shit.
Yeah.
So Basic, and then I would say big career opportunities have been, there's a guy, he goes by Adam Calhoun.
I've heard of Adam Calhoun.
Yeah, he's an independent.
He's from here?
Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yup, and he does a lot of content. He's went viral for influencer stuff, like comedy videos, talking a lot about Trump and politics, different things like that. But yeah, he's one of the biggest independent music artists of all time. And so I've done over 10, 15 videos for him in the last like 3 years. Bubba Sparks, I've done some videos for him.
That's fire.
But yeah, that came from Adam Calhoun. My first video for Adam was Adam and featuring Bubba Sparks. So I got to do a video for Adam featuring Bubba, and then Bubba ended up doing a song and having Adam featured on it. And so we shot that in Nashville about 1.5 years ago. So those 2 guys, and then a third person I would say Katie Noel. She's country rap.
Okay, that's
She's
fire.
from North Carolina, but yep, she was the first country music video that I ever did.
Nice.
Once I did her video, she helped me break through, and that was like my new standard because it was a time where I was around maybe $1,000 to $2,000 for a video, and when I did her video, she rented a barn, horses, a saloon. There was line dancers, all these different things. So it's probably like maybe a $10,000 budget, just rough. But when that came out, everyone's response was like, "Oh shit, this is." And so I was like, "Okay, I know what this shit costs. So that's my new minimum. Like I'm not going backwards anymore. No, I can't shoot a video in the parking lot. No, I can't shoot a video. Like I want to protect that. I want to only go up from here." And so that was in 2020.
Yeah, that's what's up. Hell yeah. And I respect that, to be honest, because to be honest, a lot of people ask me, like, why don't you shoot more music videos?
They're expensive.
And it's because they're expensive, and I refuse to water down my content just to have content.
Look around right now. This is proof of it. Anyone can do a podcast on Zoom and shit. You're like, okay, you had said before we started doing this, because I was complimenting, I've been on a lot of people's podcasts, and I'm used to, oh yeah, so here's how I do it. We do it over Zoom. I'm gonna send you a link. It's like, all right, cool. And I appreciate, shout out to everyone that I've been on their podcast. However, as the great Meek Mill once said, there's levels to this shit, young boy. And same thing with podcasts. I mean, there's over $10,000-$20,000 in equipment in the room right now. So this is proof that you said if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it right.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right, bro. And it's like, I'm not trying to shoot a video in the parking lot. I don't want to just be in the studio smoking weed and everybody rap their verse. Like, nigga, we need sets, we need different outfits, we need props, we need bitches, we need homies, we need weed, all that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm trying to turn up and have the best experience possible, but because we're competing. Like at the end of the day, it don't feel like it, but you're competing with these fucking famous people. Like, why are they gonna watch your content when there's a million other niggas putting content out every day that really putting money into it or got some money behind it? And even though you may not have those resources, you can really think outside the box and get creative with shit like that, for real. So, like, we shot I mean, we just shot Iced Up, Piped Up. Shout out Ellie Nagase. Nagase, she just directed my video. She's a student at U of M. And that video we shot was probably like $3,000.
And it was cold.
And thank
He
you. I
just showed
appreciate
it to me.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are. This is my first time seeing your work. You're good at what you do, especially
yeah.
to be still in school for it.
It's crazy. Shout out Ellie. Shout out Claire. Shout out Lacey. Man, I'm gonna pop the video right here so y'all can check it out for a second. Iced Up, Piped Up. It's on all platforms on YouTube. But that video, even then, like, it would have costed a lot more because of the equipment they used, because they were able to use it from the school.
Oh,
but
yeah.
we still put a $3,000 budget behind it, even though the school was like, we got y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just to make sure that the sets were right and that we had everything that we needed.
I would say that's the most important piece usually for me is like, where are we going to shoot it?
Yeah.
And where are we going to shoot it? That could be $2,000, $3,000 right there. If we're in a bigger city, then there's access to more places that you can rent for maybe $100 or $200 and like get away with that. But and I also, so not to like contradict everything we're saying, but certain songs require different shit. So like
100%.
if the song is about like mental health or depression and stuff, we could shoot that. All you need is just you, me, and a camera.
Yeah, you feel me?
Because it could be in the bedroom.
But you can get creative with it
Yes.
still. Like, be really selective and intentional about the scenes and about what you're portraying in the art. Students was perfect because I literally refused to put that song out until the video was like where it needed to be.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm definitely that type of artist where I'm going to wait until it's right.
Yeah, they say in the Bible, thou shalt not judge, but people judge.
Yeah.
And so when you do represent yourself that way, that you showed me with that video, you look like you're already there, which is exactly what you're supposed to do to get there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's really the vibe I've always been on. So I appreciate you, acknowledging that too.
These beautiful things that
So we talked about who has been your top 5 collabs. Who are your dream collabs? Who haven't you worked with? The top 5 that you want to work with.
It's the biggest artist in the world. it is a business. I'd love to work with like Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga, Drake, Beyonce.
Yeah, that's a fire top 5.
50 Cent would be in there too.
Yeah, you got to throw 50 in there. But yeah, and I love it too. Like, being a cinematographer is like, you can go so many different directions with that too. Like shooting music videos, but then that turning into short films and things like that too, where you can continue to elevate. As much as you've already elevated over 20 years, there's so many more places you can go with that shit too, which is dope. Yeah, that's what's up. I would say 50 is definitely my top in there, but Drake. Yes, Kendrick fans. I said Drake. Shout out to 6 God. I fuck with Kendrick too, but I mean, you ain't gonna make me hate Drake. He's in the top 5 Spotify every year.
Yeah.
Beyonce would be crazy. That'd be dope, especially you being in that country bag. She's really in the country bag right now.
Yeah,
too. Country hip hop too. You said there was a country hip hop artist you worked with. What was the name again?
Yeah, quite a few actually. Katie Noel.
Yeah, Katie Noel.
Adam Calhoun.
So that genre is becoming huge right now. I feel like
Shabuzi. I think he has the most streamed song in the history, and that was country rap.
Yeah. So I've even been trying to dabble in that country rap bag a little bit, the little pop country rap bag. It's this shit's kind of a bop. I fuck with it.
Even Lil Nas X with Old Town Road, that was country rap ish pop crossover.
All right. So as a music lover, what's on repeat for you these days? What you listening to?
I listen to a lot of Ali Joseph. He's independent. I think he's from this area. He's in Nashville right now.
Okay.
But he calls his music, I think it's mountain pop.
Mountain pop. Okay. That's new.
It's a vibe, basically. Then there's another artist, he goes by Mike.
I know Mike with the period at the end.
Yes,
right?
with a period.
Yes,
and all of it's just like lowercase.
Yeah.
I love his music too. And if I were to be a independent music artist, like that would be the route that I would go. Is Mike's built a fucking empire.
Yeah. He's like, and don't take this wrong because I know he's from here. He probably will never see this, but if he's you, I'm sorry. He's like a less lame NF. in my opinion, is Mike. Like he's got the NF-esque vibe, but I feel like a lot of people think NF is like lame and don't fuck with NF. Not like a lot, but a lot of people in my circle do at least. Like in the trap hip hop circle, not bumping NF. But I feel like if I play Mike around niggas, they're like, this is kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? And it's really the same vibe. If you, because I listen to both of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but no, that's hard. I don't know. I think I did a podcast like 2 interviews ago. I forget who it was, but they also was like, yeah, I listen to Mike. And I'm like, bro, I've never heard anybody say this man's name before.
Yeah.
I randomly found him on Instagram like 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been bumping his shit ever since. Okay, so what's been, I know you've talked about a couple different moments in your career. What's been your favorite moment? Like, what was the moment where you're like, you were having the most fun, you enjoyed it the most, and like, whether it be a video you shot, a trip you took, a show, a song, whatever?
I'd say my daughter, she's 12 now, but when she was 3, the first time I took her to Disney World.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking dope. Because it was like my first time as an adult going there. I think my parents took me there once when I was like little, but I was too little to remember it.
Yeah,
so like going there, single dad, and then they had this parade, and then they were chanting, dreams come true, dreams come true. And yeah, I got like emotional, and I was thinking like, damn, I didn't give up on my dream, and like that is what paid for me to like bring my fucking daughter to Disney World.
Yeah, that's fire.
That was a dope moment. And then I would say also like buying my first house.
Hell yeah.
Same type of shit. It's like, damn, this came from me making beats and doing studio time and shooting videos. Like I bought a fucking house.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
It's one thing to like put gas in your car, like buy groceries or something, but then to like buy a house and know that like, okay, to buy a house means I had to claim enough money on taxes and pay taxes on that money for at least 2 years to get approved for the fucking mortgage. And I remember the first time I went to buy a car from being like self-employed entrepreneur, I just went in there like, how much money do you make? And I'm like, I make more than enough to pay for this. And they're like, where's your check stubs? I was like, I don't have a check stub. I'm self-employed. Well, where's your tax returns? I was like, I haven't filed my taxes. And they're like, all right, kid, let me school you real quick. You got to file taxes. You got to claim money. You can't just walk in there and say that you can afford the shit. Like the bank has to approve it. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I asked some people for advice, and I got horrible advice because everyone I got advice from, they played small. They like lived with their girlfriend, and the apartment was in her name, and then like they had a car that was used. Like they weren't living how I wanted to live. So their advice to me was like, oh no, do cash, man. Don't claim shit. Blah blah blah. Fuck paying taxes. And so, like, I did that, but then when I went to go get shit, they're like, you don't make no money. And I was like, yeah, I do. I got a shoebox full of money. And, so, yeah, that was my lesson to, like, teach me about actually the legit way to, like, run a business and pay taxes and, like, get approved for shit.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think I'm living testament of, like, an artist having a job, like, because my day job really funds everything that I do, whether it be my music, the podcast, whether it be trips, doing shows, whatever I want to do, it all stems from just being financially stable. And I feel like coming up, I also feel like I got bad advice in a sense of people just telling me like, just put it all into music, like fuck a day job, just do what you got to do. And if music is like for you, you could get immediate value from what you were doing in music. Whereas for me as an independent artist, it's more of the long game.
Yeah.
So it was like it took me a while to get to that point of humility where I'm like, I need to find somewhere else to put my eggs so that I can, really fund what I'm trying to do. But it took me too long to realize that. Like I should have been doing that shit in college when I was rapping in college. Yeah. I should have had a job before going to class instead of smoking weed, just writing raps all day. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel you on that.
I think most music artists don't realize that they're actually an entrepreneur. And so like the name of their business is whatever their artist name is. So if my artist name was Lil Young Cash is the name of my business, and how businesses survive, the oxygen for a business is money. So like to start a business and have no fucking money, you're destined for failure.
Yeah,
so
100%.
I think the dumbest thing that an independent artist could do is not have money or not have a means of income. And you have a sweet situation because like you have a dope thing that you're doing. Like with Live.
Yeah, with Liv. Yeah.
That's fucking cool. That aligns. That like overlaps with you as a
Yeah.
music artist. Like that's cool.
I've been put in a blessed situation 100%. I feel like I said, it took me a while to get to that point where it was like, I'm going to dedicate enough time to something every day so that it can fuel this other thing, where it was the opposite for me at first. It was like, I left school to do this, so I'm putting everything into music, you know?
Yeah.
And I was so worried about that, and then just making bad investments and just doing things I don't feel like all the way the right way. I don't think we did them all wrong either, but just not doing everything the right way. And then eventually, when I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a little step back. I'm gonna focus a little more on my personal life and figure out what I want to do if music doesn't work.
Yeah.
And it was always, cannabis and helping people and, being a salesman and being a businessman. And that kind of, like you said, it plays hand in hand. And then as that started to elevate, I noticed I was more motivated with music. I started recording more. I was performing again.
Yep.
And they just kind of coexisted that way. So I've definitely been put in a very fortunate situation, I feel like.
Yeah. Yep. I always tell people, take care of your personal life first. Most people, they may think that they have like business problems, but they have personal life problems that affect their business.
100%.
So once you get your personal life in check, everything else gets easier.
It falls into place. That's something that you still realize. I still realize that every day. Like, I was a diabetic. I'm still technically a diabetic, but I kind of have worked my way out of it. I lost a bunch of weight a couple years ago, and then last year I got a hernia, so it sat me down for a while. But then I took that set down period as like, okay, now it's time to slack again. Start eating bad again. Can't go to the gym because you don't want the hernia to burst. Then I had surgery, and then earlier in the year, like a couple months ago, when I was finally, my doctor's like, you're good to go. I just flipped that switch again. They're like, let's eat healthy again. Let's go to the gym 3-4 days a week.
Fuck
like,
yeah.
Why the fuck why am I still eating McDonald's? Like, that shit didn't help me 3 years ago when I got diabetes. Like, why just because now I have an injury and I'm fucked up about this, now I'm just falling right back into that old person. So now I'm just trying to stay on that up and up. And like you said, take care of the personal life, and everything else will fucking fall into place for you.
Amen.
Yeah. So
Free game.
Free game.
More free game.
Hell yeah. So we talked a little bit about your production, and like you've been doing that for a while. What's your production style? What's unique about it? What would you say?
I like trap shit. I'll just say it's just trap shit. What's unique about it? I mean, I don't know. I don't really make a whole lot of beats. I would say I'm more in the like retirement phase from music.
Okay, so if you switch it over to your video style, what's unique about that, and what's like your approach to the videos?
I would say I've always been just very good fundamentally with everything that I do.
Mm-hmm.
So like my mixing, it's just all of the fundamentals. It's like good compression, good EQ, good reverb, like all of the fundamentals. It's no crazy shit.
Yeah.
And I would say the same thing with beats. It's like a clean mixed beat, hard hitting 808. There's drops when there needs to be drops, like just very fundamentally correct. And I would say the same thing with like my video style. The people that have the most amateur looking videos, they lack all of the fundamentals. It's like proper camera exposure, camera settings, camera movements, proper editing. So like the editing style is just more enhancing all of, I would say, the fundamentals. Like very clean shot, the color looks good, the camera movement's good. Like I would say somebody that has lots of years of experience, if they seen it, they wouldn't be pointing out amateur shit about like, oh, the camera was shaky right there, or oh, he went out of focus right there. It's like, no, if the motherfucker's supposed to be in focus, he's in focus. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
If it's supposed to be a smooth shot, I can promise you it's a smooth shot. If the color's supposed to look warm and blah, 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 it's gonna fucking look warm, like
yeah, that's what's up.
People's skin tones will look correct. Like just very professionally, and that seems to be a thing too, because now I'm offering more content services for people's like personal brands. So even outside of music, it could be a realtor that's making millions of dollars, like helping them with their content, building their brand. But that's the thing that people are saying when they reach out to me is like, I love the way that your content and your videos look. It's very professional and clean.
Yeah.
And is basically the same thing with like the mixing. The people, it's like, well, why do you want me to mix your shit? It's like your shit just is so professional and clean. You know, so
Yeah, that's.
professional and clean.
I was about to say that was what caught my eye. I had never heard of you. Like we've been coexisting an hour away from each other for a while.
Yeah.
And I was scrolling and I got hit with one of your Instagram ads, and that happens sometimes, like randomly. Somebody who you probably, because we had mutual followers too, but just one day Instagram was like, I'm gonna show you this video. And then I seen it and I clicked on it, and then I started looking at the studio and shit, and I'm like, yo, this dude's kind of dope. I'm like, and we're looking for more people to come on the pod, so I just hit you up. That's
awesome.
A lot of my relationships started that way, just reaching out to people, you know, and because my content's right, and because you look at my page and you're like, oh shit, like this motherfucker is doing something positive, and then you're like, okay, there's somebody I can hit back.
Yep.
That has got me in so many rooms. Just my content and my page looking correct.
I would say that's the new resume.
Yeah, I swear to God.
Usually if you meet someone and you're out of town, it's like, what's your IG? And again, they say, thou shalt not judge, but motherfuckers judge. The first thing they're going to do when your page loads up is like the eyes are drawn to how many followers does he have?
Yeah.
And then it's like they're going to scroll a little bit and just judge kind of like what type of shit do I see?
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, having that shit, you know, doing it the right way, representing yourself the right way goes a long way.
It goes a long way because motherfuckers will ignore that DM. I'm telling you, if your shit don't look right. Swear to God. Okay, so I know we talked a little bit about, you know, where your path is now. Is there any projects that you can speak on that you're working on currently?
I would say my main focuses now are launching this mentorship because I love educating. Which is like, so my podcast is coming out this month, in the month of May of 2025. So Free Game with Crack podcast. And again, it's free game. It's conversations, but we're not just talking about sports and this and that. It's like, let's talk about some big shit. I want to talk about ideas.
Yeah.
I want to get free game from you. What's some lessons that you learned? Okay, I cannot make those same mistakes. Like, I love value. So, the launching the podcast to do more content, focusing on my YouTube. I'm almost at 100,000 subscribers, so keeping at least 2 videos going out a week is my focus right now for the YouTube. Growing the mentorship. So right now I have 20 total spots. It'll be like 5 spots on Mondays, 5 spots on Tuesdays, and it's bi-weekly. So, I have 20 spots total. And the spots are going every single day, so that's fucking cool to know that like people do look at me in a way of somebody that they would pay thousands of dollars to help them level up and help them grow in areas.
Yeah.
So the mentorship, and then over these next few months, like I have a good 10 courses that I want to come out with. So it's all the shit. It bothers me when I meet people. So like when me and my wife got married and we're at the jewelry store, and then the owner of the store knew my parents, and so she knew me, and she was like, hey, you know, my son, he wants to do what you do with the cameras. Like, where should I send him to school? And I was like, you shouldn't send him to school. And she's like, no, I was going to sign him up for this school or this school. And I was just like, why don't I have some shit? Like, I would teach him, and I've learned this from growing my team here at the studio. Like, one of the worst engineers I've ever had graduated, you know, went to school the longest.
Yeah.
You know, but I guess in the sense, the best engineer I've ever had went to school as well, too. So I think it falls down on the people. But, yeah, just I want to, for the person that's like, I want to do music videos. I see you do music videos. Like, can you teach me? It's like, go through my program. Like, I want to put together the program to teach you. This is my process for planning videos, filming videos, editing videos. You go through this, you're going to see my process. Here's the sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to record, mix, and master. Okay, I've been doing this for over 20 years. I work with over 1,000 artists. This is my exact process. Here's how I go about recording the song, mixing the song, mastering the song. And then the same thing with podcasts. Like, what the goal is to take something that's very hard and complex and make it easy, and then now it's convenient, and then you sell that. And that's where the money's at.
Yeah.
So my whole life and focus is all around that. It's like, that's all I want to do. That's what every fucking minute of my day I want to go towards, either creating content. I'm obsessed with leverage now. So how can I get the most out for what I put in? And so you could have called me and we could have had a conversation for an hour. But in my head, I know that's one-to-one. No one else is going to hear this. So it's like, let's not have that conversation. Let's do it in person with cameras on. So now instead of just one-to-one, you know, there's 5 people in the building, but then plus it's going on the internet. And so hopefully hundreds, if not thousands of people will listen to the episode. And then hopefully there's clips that maybe some of these clips get thousands of tens of thousands of views. So we get way more back on our couple hours of sitting down having a conversation.
100%. I'm all about value too. Like which like you said, getting the most out of something that you put in, you know, and if you can put minimal effort, that's even better. But 100% getting the most value out of something, that's taught me in the retail space a lot. Like fucking with vendors and like these people who are really trying to like not only want to get their product out there, but they got to make money off this product, you know, but that visibility piece is important. So if you can show them some value, even if it's not 100% value in dollars, but it's value in other ways, a lot of people are jumping on it, you know?
Yeah.
So I definitely have learned that working in the cannabis space too. But no, that's what's up, man. So what is some advice other than what you've said already that you would give to an aspiring entrepreneur or just a younger entrepreneur?
Don't be afraid of being judged. Have courage. Put yourself out there. A lot of people don't think that they're interesting, but somebody else out there has similar interests to you, and they would think that, you know, there's something that you do every single day that's interesting. There's something that you think about, or your view of things that's interesting, and so like share that. I say the more that you share, the more opportunities that you give for people to care.
Yeah, 100%.
So if there's a time where I was chasing more views and I seen like one of my first videos of me, so not like a video that I shot of a client or nothing. It was like my shit that got hundreds of thousands of views, and it was how to shoot a music video tutorial. And I'm like, oh shit, it was 250,000 views. I'm gonna do how to edit a music video tutorial. I'm gonna do how to shoot a music video with a phone tutorial. How to mistakes to avoid with your music. So I was doing a lot of that, and I just thought, like, if God forbid something happened to me, I don't want the world to be like, damn, no more music video tutorials. It's like, nah, if something happened to me, the people that are close to me, they'd be like fucked up because I have a big impact on them. And I'm like, why do I have a big impact on them? It's because they come to me for this and this and this and this. There's all these different things that I have to offer that's valuable. So why the fuck is the only thing that I'm sharing is music video tutorials?
Yeah.
So now what I'm doing with my content is I'm sitting down Big Brother style talking about like one of my most recent videos was a recent lesson I learned about how to make a lot of money in a short amount of time. And yeah, it was like taking my family on vacation, and then just like 3 weeks prior it don't make sense right now financially. But then I thought like, okay, how would it make sense right now financially? And I sat down and I wrote everything out and I fucking did it, and like had the biggest month of my career so far.
Yeah, that's fire.
So, but yeah, just all of that. Just make content, put your shit out there. It'll anyone that's doing well right now, if you focus on your content, it's like steroids.
Yeah, 100%.
So like if you got good music, but you're not really doing that much content, if you focus on the content, your shit's gonna blow up. If you shoot videos, if you take pictures, if you're a barber, if you sell cars, like no matter what it is that you do, if you put the camera on you, and now social media is all about just showing up. It's like, yo, I see you every day.
Yeah, I see you every day.
know?
That's half the battle, bro. I swear to God.
Community type of service things, right?
Yeah.
Like giving back to the community. So I'm just thinking of like as a content coach guy, okay, part of your strategy would be we have music in there, but it can't be 100% music because there's more to you. So then it's like, okay, you do the podcast. Now is it 50-50? What else do you want people to think of? And it's like the positivity, the good person. Okay, so would you say every month you would do some sort of like give back, positivity, bring people together type of thing maybe?
Yeah, I feel that. And I do that in a sense now where I try to give opportunities to a lot of people. Like, I've done things like do contests to give away like opening slots and, on big shows that I'm a part of. I've done things to give away like promo, done free verses for people. So I try to do that a little bit too. And then cannabis is a big part of my brand too.
Okay,
like I'm a heavy weed smoker. I'm a connoisseur. I'd like to believe like I'm very educated on the plant and like the medicinal properties of it.
Yeah.
And also the recreational side of it too. Like I've smoked a lot of weed in my day. I can definitely point you in the direction of some of the best growers around, some of the best strains. If you got different ailments, like, I can help you if you got psoriasis, if you got an ache in your back, if you got, arthritis, whatever. I know the different things that you would need, almost kind of like a nurse or like a doctor, just from experimentation within myself and understanding the scientific like makeup of the plant is so that's a big part of me too. Is like healing, helping people, and like really putting people on the cannabis, because I feel like back in the day they tried to destroy the and tarnish the image and the brand of cannabis.
Yeah.
And so it still has this bad image in certain people's eyes. So just trying to shed that light on how positive the plant is now too. So that's a big thing for me
so
too.
some educational content centered around cannabis
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But again, would you want that to be 100% of your content strategy? Fuck no. You'd still want to have some music in there. So I'm the anti-niche guy. Like, I fucking hate a niche. I hate boxing people in or being like, no, just do music. You're the music guy.
Yeah.
None of that. Because, again, we're trying to grow, and it's like the easiest, fastest way to grow is to just like start a new page, and it's cannabis educational content, and people follow for that. And it's a very clear, like, oh, if I follow this page, I'm signing up for that. The problem is, do you see yourself doing that for 10 years or 15 years or 20 years or whatever?
Exactly.
And it's like, when are you going to run out of shit to talk about? Because I've done that. I've went through my head where I do a lot of producer shit. And so then, I'm attracting producers, but then now I'm shooting videos and stuff, and I may lose some of the producers, and now I'm getting some of the camera guys watching my content, but then I'm doing some motivational shit. But it's like, if I were to just have one account that's all video stuff, like, I'm at the tail end of my career right now, so I may not even be doing video shit in a year.
Yeah, exactly.
So the beautiful thing about like building somebody's personal brand is your personal brand goes with you forever. So like, if you think about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, there was a time where, let's just say, if you were following him on social media when he was all, WWE, a lot of his content would be centered around WWE, but then he's a father and a family man, and he also works out. So you would just expect to see, I'm gonna see this motherfucker working out, I'm gonna see some like wrestling highlights, I'm gonna see his family here and there. And then he got into acting, so now you start getting used to seeing like him on set, him promoting movies, and then he comes out with tequila, so now you start seeing the tequila come in.
Yeah.
It's like it continues to
evolve.
To
and
evolve.
It's because of his personal brand. I feel
Personal brand. So
Yeah.
that's the strategy that I give to everyone. Is like, when in doubt, zoom out. I know it may make sense, like, oh, I'm gonna make a stretching page where I walk people through how to stretch and shit. And it's like, but do you see yourself doing that in 10 years? Or like, what if that does get a huge following, and then you want to like make a movie, or you want to write a book, or you want to open up a business, and people are like, no, stick to the stretching shit.
And now you're starting new again, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So versus if you start off intentionally and you have this balance of, okay, where do I see myself 5 years from now, 10 years from now? I would definitely still be doing music. Okay, so music's gonna be in there, but it's not gonna be 100% of my strategy.
Yeah.
I'm probably still gonna be smoking. Okay, so cannabis is gonna be in there, but it's not gonna be. So it'd be like if you're posting 7 days a week, maybe 2 posts a week is some music shit. Maybe 1 to 2 posts a week is some cannabis shit. Maybe 1 to 2 posts a week are clips from the podcast, and then it'd be like, what else? It's like, you like getting fresh. Okay, so maybe a carousel post a week that's just like a photo dump, and it's different outfits that you're wearing. Different stuff like that.
I feel it, man. He's got the sauce. You got to check out my man's podcast and come get this free game from my boy.
Yeah, and sign up for a mentorship too.
Yeah, sign up for a mentorship too. We'll put the link right here. Make sure y'all know what's going on. So is there anybody you want to shout out, man? Anybody you want to give some flowers to before we get out of here?
Shout out to Felix the motherfucking Don for having me on the podcast.
Hell
Shout
yeah,
out to
man.
the Loft 313.
Shout out to Crack House, man. Shout out to Crackalack. Shout out to you and your team. This has been a dope ass episode and a dope experience for sure.
Yeah, my hope and my goal is that if people stuck around to the end of this, you're a real one. Hopefully we left you better than you found us.
Hell yeah, 100%. Well, I'm your host, Felix, a.k.a. Felix the Don, a.k.a. Top 2 and Not 2. This is the Loft 313, and we out.
You've been trying to find someone that'll change your life. I would. Doing everything that I can, I'ma treat you right. I could. Honey, I'll be the one that you'll be ringing up late night. Missing me, that's all you need. You need to figure something else out, my knees weak. Tripping over you, obsessing deeply. Who you desire, what lights your fire? I'm trying to figure out why I'm so attached. Like I knew you for a lifetime. Will you be my lifeline when I'm feeling lost? Baby, I need you, don't care what you cost. I'm coming with the famous, just say you'll be okay with it. The ways I behaving, oh baby, I don't know how you got my attention. I love giving you all my affection, but will you take me there? But will you play it fair? You've been trying to find that one. You've been trying to find that one. I would. Doing everything that I can, I'ma treat you right. I could look for something else, but my soul knows you won't treat me like you, incomparable. We won't get loose, I can't leave you. I'm trying to figure out when it's so tired setting. I've been needing this treatment, freaky but a gentleman, working so hard lately. Who you said you hungry, just know that I am on it. Lay down for a moment, being here with you feels like heaven. You've been trying to find that one.